This is the Minions and the Whistling Kettle, and this is how it works. A long time ago in a faraway land, a group of minions were searching for food when they came across a strange and wonderful object. It was a whistling kettle. The minions had never seen anything like it before, and they couldn't figure out how it worked. But they did know that it looked like it could be useful. So they brought it back to their hideout to do some more research. The first minion to investigate was Kevin. He was the tallest of the bunch and he had a really big nose. Kevin tried sticking his nose into the spout of the kettle to see what would happen. And wouldn't you know it, the kettle started to whistle. Kevin was so surprised that he fell backwards and landed right into the pot. The other minions were very concerned about Kevin's well-being, but he was okay. In fact, he was very happy because he had just discovered that the whistling kettle also worked as a stove. The minions were so excited to have found such a useful object that they decided to have a little celebration. They put on their party hats and danced around the whistling kettle, singing songs and making merry. But their joy was short-lived because soon the fuel in the kettle ran out and the party came to an end. The minions were sad, but then Stuart had an idea. He grabbed a banana from his pocket and offered it to Bob. Bob was very hungry, so he took the banana and ate it very quickly. Then Stuart had a thought. He took Bob's empty peelings and put them into the spout of the whistling kettle. Then he turned the heat on and waited. The minions were all very curious to see what was going to happen next. And wouldn't you know it, the whistling kettle started to whistle again. The minions were so surprised. They couldn't believe that the whistling kettle could work without fuel. They had to get to the bottom of this, so they started to take apart the kettle to see how it worked. But they didn't know that the whistling kettle was a magical object. And when it was tampered with, the magic inside of it started to go out of control. Suddenly, the room started to spin around and the minions were very dizzy. They tried to hold on to each other, but it was no use. They were all separated and flung around the room until they all passed out. When they woke up, they were all in a heap on the floor. But something was different. They had all turned yellow. The minions had no idea what had happened, but they were too busy being amazed by their new golden glow to care. They were so happy with their new appearance that they all gave each other a big hug. And then they all went out into the world to find even more treasure.